Hi guys, welcome to my AB2.4 build. We're on I called it part 4, but it's essentially it's what we've done so far is we have done the first page, which has been putting the shock towers on the diff, front diff, and putting all the parts that need to go on there. So we've got a front diff ready to go. We've got the rear diff all built up, the rear wing, which I'm not going to go on about because it was an absolute nightmare to do, and if you want to find out why, go back and watch the video of me doing it. But I've been going on a bit in the last few videos because I've been finding a lot of problems with the instructions and parts missing and stuff. But I mean, this is a fun project, so difficult to have fun when you're getting pissed off, but it's starting to look like we've got some pieces of an RC car together. The steering, again, nightmare, screws missing. The instructions are awful, but it is starting to look like a car. We've got the bits of a car here. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to put these out of the way. Put these out of the way, and hopefully we're on roughly the right page. Sorry, I had to skip ahead. I ran into some big problems. It's something very simple, should have been very simple, putting the front axle together. This diagram here, this one and this one, they're just not big enough and clear enough to show you which way around anything goes. So I spent a crazy amount of time trying to figure out which way around things went. Obviously, having never seen this front end before, I didn't exactly know, and I didn't know which way around ball joints went and stuff like that. The parts that went in easily, my bearings are the right size. Just so you know, these Helion metal shielded 10x15x4 bearings, they fit perfectly. So you've got a big bearing sits on the inside and you've got a small bearing that sits on the outside. I've got those as well. They all went in fine, drive shaft went in fine. I've got my own hexes on here, and obviously they went on fine because they're mine. The rest of it though was a nightmare because I was trying to figure out what was going on, because I only had 2 screws, but I had more to put together than 2 screws. So obviously I've got 2 sides, and I just thought I was doing it wrong because I was missing a pack of, the screw pack only had 2 in it and it should have had 4. So I've had to improvise. I've had to use this is the one that came with it. It's got a sort of pan wide head on it. I've had to improvise and put a Tamiya screw in it, and it took me a long time to figure out that I could, the right length, and so I didn't think that was worth going through on a video. The instructions are absolutely abysmal. There is no way you can figure that out by looking at that. I've taken it apart and put it together about 10 times just to get it the right way around. So I didn't want to bore you with all that. So we've now got one side. One of them does say right and left on it to give you some idea what you're doing. So I've got a right and a left. I had to look down into this next picture here to even see if I've got it remotely right, and I'm still not actually sure if I've got it right, but it looks right on that one. The backs were a lot easier. They're made up. So now it's a case of putting the actual suspension arms on, and basically putting the front and back end together with the shocks as well. So that's what I'm going to do next.